Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo, and today I want to make some coastal cowgirl jewelry. So I have this dress. It's tiered. It's just a cute little summer dress. It's white. I do like to wear some brown little ankle boots with it. Got little brown beads at the end of this tie. And today I want to make a little necklace or maybe a pair of earrings, or I don't know, both. Or maybe that will be two videos. I don't know. I've just got some beads here I'm going to go through and pick out, and we're going to go through the process of designing and creating something to go with this little coastal cowgirl dress. So the first thing I want to do is go through some of my seashells. A lot of these I got the last time I was at the beach, and I love to collect seashells. So let's just kind of go through here and see what we've got and pick out something. Now before we do that, let me just show you some things that I've made. I kind of want to go along this style, but make it more of a Southwest look. This is strictly beach. So we have a seashell and beaded crochet wax cording here. And I just have a lobster claw clasp for that. This particular necklace has a sliding knot, so it makes this adjustable. And I have crocheted the seashell on there. And I want to do something along those lines, probably using some turquoise and some coral looking type beads. But like I said, let's go through these first. All right, let's see what we got. I got a lot of stuff in here. Some of the stuff like this we're not going to be able to use. First thing I'm going to do is just pick out everything that has a hole in it. If it doesn't have a hole in it, putting it back in the container. That one's broken, so all right, look at these. Those match almost perfectly. Now they're both the same same facing shell, so they were not together. See, but they will make a really good pair of earrings. So I'm going to set those aside, and let's see what we have here. I think I want to use, oh, you know what? I really like this. But do I want to use white? Not that one. I could use that. Kind of gives the same feeling as these. I really like that. So I think I know what I'm going to use. For sure these. And if I want to make a set, I don't think these are going to go well. So I'm going to put that away. And then I'm down to these for a necklace. I think this matches better. I think. It's funny. That matches with that, and that matches with that. Huh. All right. I have it narrowed down to earrings and a necklace. Now we've got to pick out some beads. So in here I have all kinds of beads. Let me just pull some out here. I could use some chunky beads or round beads. I like the chunk. Whoop. I've got these white too. These are howlite. In fact, these are all probably howlite. Maybe, let's see. These right here, I don't think they're a real coral. I have tried to look on here to see if it says dyed red bamboo coral. Okay, there you go. So it's dyed red bamboo coral. And I'm just going to pull out various beads here. I think I'm going to go with the chips. And I don't need a whole lot. So this is what I've picked out for a coastal cowgirl set. We've got dyed howlite, white howlite, and then dyed bamboo coral. Now they are calling this coral, and I question if it is true coral. I did not purchase this. I actually was given a whole bunch of beads from somebody, and these happened to be in there. I don't buy coral because it is not environmentally friendly. That's not something that we should be doing, is damaging our ocean's ecosystem, and coral plays a tremendous role in that. And so therefore I do not buy it. I don't even think if you can really purchase it anymore. At least, you know, like this came, I think this came from Hobby Lobby. Maybe it come from Michael's. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've purchased from either one of those stores, but it was either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And I question if this is true coral. But anyway, let me start designing. So I went ahead and I picked out a red, a white, and a turquoise. We have an ear wire. I have a jump ring, and I went ahead and put it onto the seashell, or put the seashell onto the jump ring. One of the things you have to remember with on putting jump rings in seashells, sometimes you can use a small jump ring. This one I had to use a little bit larger jump ring. Let's see, what size was this? I think this is an 8mm. And the reason being is because of the way the hole is. So it'll be a trial and error on your part as far as what size to use. Because like I said, it depends on the size of your shell. You don't have to use a jump ring, but when you do use one, you get more of a dangle. And I'll show you that in just a little bit here when we get this done. All right, so I am using 20 gauge aluminum wire. And I'm going to work off the spool. Where is the end? Here it is. All right. So I got my spool here, and I'm going to put my beads on. I'm going to put the top bead on first, and then my middle bead. Whoops, I want this to be my middle bead. And then my bottom bead. All right, so we have that. So the next thing we're going to do is take our round nose pliers, and we are going to start wrapping a loop. So I'm just going to start it like that, and then I'm going to put my shell on there. Now if you didn't want to use a jump ring, you would need to make that loop right there, a lot bigger. So you could feed your shell on there. But I like to use jump ring most of the time because, like I said, you get more movement. And you will see what I mean when we get this done. All right, so I'm wrapping a few times. I'm going to go ahead and clip that off and take my flat nose pliers and tuck that in. And then once I have it tucked in, I feel to see if anything's sticking out, and it is. So because my eyesight's bad, I usually have to put it closer to my eye so I can see what I'm doing. So once you have it tucked in and nothing's poking out, and like I said, I just took my flat nose pliers and found that thing that was sticking out and just kind of tucked it in, okay? So now I'm going to take all these beads, put them down like that. And again, I'm going to take my round nose pliers and we're going to wrap another loop. And then I'm just going to clip that off. Let me move this wire out of the way. And then I don't know if you can see it or not, but that wire is still sticking out. So again, I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm just going to tuck that in. Then I'm going to feel around. All right, I don't feel that one. So then we need to add our ear wire and we'll be done. One of the things I want to make sure is that it's going to be facing the correct way. You don't want your earring hanging like this. You want it like that. When you hang the ear wire, see how they're both going in the right direction, in the same direction rather. I want to make sure that they're in the opposite direction so things hang correctly. So I just took my pliers and gently moved that loop, and then you're going to open up your ear wire very gently, and again put that on there, and then I hang it up in front of me and make sure it's not turning in a weird direction, which we're okay. So then gently close that up. You want to make sure it's closed up, and we're done. So we have our earrings. And see how that dangles a lot? It's because the jump ring's on there. I like a lot of movement with my jewelry. So we have our earrings all finished. And so in the design process, I keep an eye on things. For instance, I could have done the white down here, but that didn't leave a whole lot of contrast from the white shell. So that's why I put the red on the bottom, okay? And then the white on top. So it's almost like white is flanking these earrings. But aren't they cute? I'm really excited to wear them. Now, I'm going to do another video on a necklace that I'm going to be doing, so stay tuned for that. And let me know what you think of Coastal Cowgirl. I think these are going to go really good with my dress. Thanks for joining me, and y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.